Good morning. I'm Goel here, and as Ruckus explained, I am joined by Prudence Williams Laborde. Probably not my cousin, but somebody who can definitely give us some much needed inspiration here on Now. So, good morning and welcome to Now, Prudence.
Good morning, Ayinka. Good morning, team. Good morning to your viewing and listening public.
All
I'm so
right.
excited to be here this morning.
Well, I'm excited to have you because you are a lady of many, many titles. You are a graduate of the Arthur Lockjack School for Human Resources Management,
Yes,
UE for Psychology, and currently pursuing, is it Neuro Linguistics Programming? Yeah,
yes, NLP. And I'm
right.
also a certified Six Sigma black belt.
Right. So all of these titles have to make some room because this morning I'm speaking to Prudence, the author. We are getting into your book, The Everyday Leader, Becoming the Best Version of Yourself Daily. Some much needed motivation and inspiration. And I'm wondering, in the midst of all of these titles and all of these accreditations, what
Mhm.
inspired you to pen this book?
That's a really great question. Now, ever since I could remember myself, I always wanted to write a book. I was toying with the idea for some time about writing a book as a young Black professional in the corporate world. I kind of pushed that aside. And last year, actually, writing a book was never on my list of to dos. I wanted to travel, and then, cousin COVID came along.
Mm.
And as I mentioned, I always wanted to write, but I never told anybody about it. And then one day, out of the blue last year, my husband just asked me, Prudence, why don't you write a book? And I was like, did I tell you about that? He was like, no, I think you should write a book and you are more than capable of writing a book. And I was like, okay, that's my sign. I
Mhm.
need to get cracking, before it's too late. And that really and truly was the inspiration for me to move from thought to action.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Laborde. And as far as the process itself goes, for
Mhm.
anybody who may be aspiring to become an author as well, the process of going from penning to published, was that difficult locally or was that done abroad since everything is digitized now? How did that happen?
So actually, I did everything locally. I always tell persons the biggest lesson that I've learned during this pandemic and what helped me to continue to write is just to take action, take imperfect action, like me being a recovering queen of procrastination, it was a testimony for me, right? So I had to get the discipline. I had to make sacrifices, when my family downstairs, Netflixing and chilling, I was
Mhm.
upstairs writing, right? So it took a lot of dedication and accountability. I invested in a coach, just to keep me being, focused.
Right.
I had a local designer who designed the book, a local editor. I printed everything locally, and then I submitted the book through Nalis to be able to get the ISBN number and everything. So everything was done locally, actually.
That is exceptional. Even more reason to get your hands on this one. But you're saying it's helping persons to become the best version of themselves daily. A
Mhm.
self-motivation book would mean that your backstory is a little complicated because you have to tell me what you have experienced. Let's dial back a little bit because that I'm not gonna let go of that Queen of Procrastination title, but that doesn't seem to be working with the amount of accolades or accreditations and academic name titles rather behind your name. So tell me a little bit about your actual backstory then, as to how it lends itself to the contents of the book.
Yeah. So Um, to be honest, the concept of leadership came from my parents. So, all my life, my parents have been always telling me, Prudence, be a leader, not a follower. I think everybody, if their parents tell them something, some form of fashion, to be a
Mm-hmm.
leader, not a
Mm-hmm. If we
follower. So
listen, it was another story, but yes.
exactly. So, throughout the years, and I mentioned that in the book, I was like, why is my parents, why is daddy telling me to be a leader and not a follower? And over the years, I've realized, through pain, through trials and tribulations, what they were actually trying to teach me is to be the best me. and it's about self-mastery, and it's about being the imperfect you, because we will never be perfect, you know? So that in itself birthed the whole concept of the everyday leader. And you know, when I did some reflection and I realized that, you know, it's all about self-mastery. Persons need to be reminded that the mere fact that they're alive at this very moment, it means that you have something to offer to the world. You're not here by chance. You're here by God's choice. And I really want persons to awaken that leadership within, because
And we apologize for that short break, but technical difficulties cannot stop us from introducing the world to the author joining us this morning, Prudence Williams Laborde, who is a recovering or former procrastinator turned author, teaching us how to be the everyday leader, the best visions of ourselves daily. So we were getting into the specifics of the book where you were talking about purpose and the fact that we are here means we have things to do. So we know we can expect some of that and a little more in the book, right?
Yes. So after you've discovered your leadership, then you have to be intentional about it, because if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So in the book, I provide strategies of how to live intentionally every day, and then how to become better and how to share your gift with the world. So that's it in a nutshell.
Well, Prudence is definitely one we want to add to our reading list. And granted that everything was procured locally, I definitely will be doing so myself. But how do I get my hands on a copy?
So you could send me an email at theeverydayleader2020@gmail.com. You could also call me on 376-8824, and I just want to show you what the book looks like. It's very compact, and when you purchase, you would get a free discovery journal with guided prompts, you know, to help you with your discovery process. So this is what it looks like printed, and you get a bookmark. So there's a lot of value, and I will be sending persons tips on how to really become the best version. So it's not in bookstores yet, because I want to build a relationship with my readers.
That's exceptional. In this digital world where everything is virtual, making that extra effort to build that relationship is really beautiful and appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, as far as tips go, I know we're going to get a bunch in the book, but if you were to leave persons with one thing towards today, making an effort towards being the better version of themselves, what would that be, Prudence?
I would say take imperfect action. Don't be scared. Let go of fear. You know, I was actually scared to do the interview this morning, and look at this, right? There's so much magic when you take action. It's unbelievable. So take that step today. Take that first step, and you will be amazed of what doors could open for you. And action comes before a blessing.
Ooh, that is some powerful stuff and the perfect way to wrap this interview this morning. Thanks again for joining us, Miss Prudence Williams Laborde, author of The Everyday Leader, Becoming the Best Version of Yourself Daily.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and have a blessed day and week ahead.
You're ready to take on new day. You guys, this is the Now Morning Show, and this is the type of inspiration that we want to continue to give to you. And to do that, we need to take a break. So we'll be back after this.
Bye.